This is Abdullah, aka also known as Brohan. I would like to make a video about language learning and language acquisition. This is a distinction that is very important if you are a language learner. It's part of the 5 hypotheses by krashen. It's very important to know because it will facilitate the process of learning and mastering a new language, be it English or another language. Now, for English, I personally learned English through movies and TV shows. This is something that is very common. Many people will answer the question of how did you learn English through movies and TV shows and music. And see, why or how do people learn this way? The answer is that there are 2 major processes that people undergo when learning language. The first is a natural process, a subconscious process, in which the learner does not mean to learn, but merely witnesses the target language being performed in by natural native speaking people. As in, it could be a TV show, it could be a movie, something of the sort. It may as well be the person living in the United States or living in the United Kingdom, with people that use language naturally. See, this creates an aha moment for the individual when he learns the new word. He does not really consciously process the word, but merely just witnesses its use. For example, I say, "Could you open the window? Could you open the window, please?" The person does not need to know what I'm talking about, or doesn't need to make a connection between the L1, as in his first language, and the target language, but merely creates a subconscious connection between the object and the word. This is the best way to learn languages according to krashen, because it is the acquired system, it is acquisition. It is the same process that you undergo when learning your L1, which means that your level of mastery will eventually be the same as your L1, which is what we all strive for. However, there is the second system, that is the learned system, or learning. This process is the result of a formal education, where you have a teacher that preaches, or let's suppose he does not use TTT, which is teacher talking time, but rather uses a valid approach where he uses material and tasks and gets the learners to interact in the target language and mimics the sort of environment that learning should take place in. However, this always will keep the learning process very conscious. So the learner will always go, how do we call that again? It's I forgot, man. Window? This kind of learning is not the same as saying, "Yeah, open the window," because he heard it before. It always keeps the consciousness, or let's suppose the mindset of the learner, a learner's mindset, rather than just a person expressing himself in a language that he has learned subconsciously. Okay, so what I'm trying to say here is that the best way to learn language is to mimic the environment in which you just subconsciously pick up the language. Let's use a key term, rub off. Let the language rub off on you instead of trying to grasp it and take it in consciously, because that hinders the process of learning. Now, how can you do that? I mean, if you can afford to go to the United States and live there for a couple of months, that would be ideal, because that would be the best way for you to learn. Interaction in the target language that is meaningful interaction in the target language. Open the window. Can you open the window? Yeah, thanks. You understand. You don't need me to say open the window means افتح الطاقة, or it means da. See, it just means that you just get it. There is another way that you could do this, that is thanks to technology. You don't have to go to the United States to be able to interact with native speakers. What you could do is VR, virtual reality, TV shows, movies, these kinds of things, such as myself. I mean, I spent hours and hours. I couldn't even tell you how many hours I watched. I watched so many TV shows. This resulted in me making a connection between the items and the language, and getting used to the sounds and how they are spoken and how they are pronounced. Paired up with a little practice of speaking, resulted in me fluently speaking the language, and subconsciously so. As in, I still ongoingly learn words that I did not mean to learn. This is the best process that if you are a language learner or a teacher, it's very important that you are aware of this dynamic. So I wanted to share this with you guys. Take it easy, have a nice day, and good luck.